Daddy, back here, roster on the ropes, talking the talk and walking the walk. We got football on the mind, guys. It's week 16. We've made it. What a crazy week of football. Just nuts nonstop. I'm glad to be here, though. Another week circling the wagon, and we're talking football, which I always love to do. I've got some starts, I've got some sits, I've got some dynasty trade targets. If you're able to trade right now, it's imperative you make those moves. Now's the time to do it before everybody gets bored, prices go up, things like that. Made a trade today to a contender, traded Landry and AB for Scary Terry McLaurin. Guys, welcome to the show. I am live. When I'm live, I'm digging it the most. Let's talk football, though. Let's get going. I've got a bunch of starts, got a couple sits for you. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Almost like the yin-yang twins. We're talking football, though. I've got a ton of players on the mind. We've got COVID running wild. We've got injuries in Tampa Bay. So many little nuggets of football content. I can't wait to blast. Let's get it started. Let's start with some quarterbacks. Let's start with some running backs. Just some guys I'm digging this week and I'm not digging. Who am I not digging? It's Carson Wentz. Worst possible matchup. Not even a top 22 quarterback for me this week. I think I have him at 24, but you're looking at him going up against Arizona. Arizona's played, just got their brakes beat off of them, but Carson Wentz has sucked the last couple games. Less than 11 points in 4 of the last 5. What we got? We're already getting a comment. Jesus. That's when you know it. Brett Frankiosi, Chris Conley, or Nico Collins. Man, I love Nico's talent. I like Davis Mills there. I might go Nico Collins. If you're going, I think Nico's also a great dynasty piece. We see Mills. He's not looked that bad. I think we looked at it. He was like the second rookie quarterback. So pretty impressive. This is an ugly situation to be in. I'd probably go Nico, though. Ugh, golly. That's when you know it's desperate. But yeah, Carson Wentz has not been good. He's not what we thought he's been. And get this guy out of your starting lineups if he is in there. Thanks for the question, though, Brett. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Fantasy Football Network. It's the best thing going, baby. Let's see what else I got for you guys. I got a bunch of overlays made up today. Tons of players to talk about. You're fading Wentz at all costs. I'm at the point where I'd just rather flex another position. Here's another one. Derrick Carr. How gross has he been? Just nasty. Gets the Broncos now. Broncos are giving up less than 16 points a game to quarterbacks since week 9. Little tidbit. I'm fading Derrick Carr, where I'm actually pushing up Josh Jacobs up the rankings. So another guy, keep an eye to the wall. Derrick Carr, just not what we thought he was going to be this year. We started off, he was having those QB1 weeks, the passing volume. I was all hot and bothered. I was like, this is like what Kirk Cousins is doing. It's like that mid-tier QB2 with QB1 weeks. Not so far. This guy sucked. I do not want anything to do with him moving forward in fantasy. Hell, even in Dynasty, not a sexy player to have. Tell you a player I do want this week. I think he's going to bounce back. I think it's imperative we talk about Brady. We talk about Kyler, Lamar, all these quarterbacks that have had injuries or have been in slumps. Because you see guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 weeks of top 12 QB production. You've seen Davis Mills, Big Ben play well. So now you're starting to question Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. One I want to kind of shoot on, Dak Prescott. You see it? Cowboys fan, big time. I think this is a bounce back week. Washington's pass defense is awful. If I've got a Cowboy receiver, I am starting him. I think I'm the highest on Amari Cooper. We've seen what he's done before. But Dak Prescott, if I'm Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys roster on the ropes, I'm firing up Dak Prescott. I have him as a top 12 play. I got him at QB9 this week. That's over Taysom Hill, over Russ Wilson, Joe Burrow, Tua, kind of right in that mold of QB1. He's not going to get it done with his legs. But when you've got a defense like they're playing, he doesn't have to put up the points. We've seen kind of the running backs excel, but I do like Dak and the receivers this week. So definitely get him in your lineups. Brady, still with the weapons. I think he's a top 3 play this week. I've got him at QB3 versus Carolina. I think he's going to pick them apart. It's not just Brady. He's got Rojo, decent player, guys like that. You get AB back this week. AB's a top 10 receiver play. Don't overthink things like that. He still has Brady. He still has O.J. Howard. Gronk's going to be there. I think what he doesn't have at the receiver position, he'll make up at tight end. So Brady's another one I'm starting. You move on to Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, whoever's playing, you play him. We saw Huntley do, 28 for 40, 4 touchdowns, 215, something like that. QB1 of the week. So don't overthink it. If it is Huntley playing, play him as well. Just some other things to think of. Quarterbacks we're not sure about. Heineke, Baker, Goff. If Goff does play, I think he has sneaky upside this week. Going up against Atlanta, another bad defense. Maybe Goff's a streamer. Maybe I'm a little high here, but I think he's got some upside here. Let me get a sip of water. How's everybody doing tonight? Whoever's viewing the show, welcome in. I'm the Matty Daddy. This is Fantasy Football Network. Literally always got a bunch of bunch of yum-yums of fantasy content on their channel. Give a shout out to Kyle and Corey making me part of this team about a month ago, a little bit over, having a blast. So love fantasy content, and I love a platform like this to show my passion. Let's talk running backs because this is another one. Bunch of sneaky players. What are we doing? Are we starting these guys? Also, go buy Dak in Dynasty if somebody's being dumb, trading him. One of my running back starts of the week. Oh, there it is. Miles Sanders, another good player. Had a good week last week, 18 for 131 versus Washington. Now he gets the 27th ranked run defense of the New York Giants. Just a shit show there. But I think Miles can easily produce more than he's getting valued right now. I think most people have him outside the top 15. I have him on that 12-13 threshold. I think this is a great matchup for him. Running back's going to be tricky this week. What do we do with Rojo? How high do we have him? Because of what Fournette's done. Me, I'm not the biggest Rojo truther, but volume is king. They have nobody else. You saw Keyshawn Vaughn drop it in the breadbasket. Gio's on IR. Now Fournette's hurt. I'm going Rojo right around that RB 10-11 threshold. Even if he gets in the doghouse, they don't have anybody else. So you got to start this guy. But Miles, I like at that high-end or low-end RB2. Let's keep it going. Let's talk Samaje Perine. Volume is king in fantasy football. He's getting Baltimore. You got to value this guy like a top 24 RB. Where? I'm not sure. Probably RB 15, 16, 17. Not the best matchup, but he catches passes. He runs the ball. Another guy, keep your ear to the wall. A guy I'm a little lower on this week. James Conner, the Terminator. I have him outside the top 20 at running back. Now that we've got Edmonds back, now we see this offense kind of struggling, leaning on the pass more. That gets more Edmonds work. That gets more Kirk work, AJ Green, Ertz, everybody but Conner. Yes, he'll get the red zone. I think you have to start him if you have him, but I don't value him as an RB1 moving forward. More that RB2 play. It's crazy he stayed healthy this whole time. But I do know that he is banged up, so that's something else to look out for. He's got an ankle injury and a heel, so just things to kind of look into as you're making those lineup choices. Not going that route yet. Let's keep it going. I got too many Cardinals up here. Edmonds, though, guy maybe you might want to stream. Player who's got a little value in the passing game. I think he could have more targets coming up. Ooh, this is a good one. Kyle Ellis, drop Claypool for Gabriel Davis. I'm saying, yeah, man. I think this is the route to go. I've got Gabe Davis, wide receiver 18-19 range. I've got Claypool outside the top 25. I have Claypool as my sit of the week, honestly. So if I am you, I am starting and I'm running to the waivers to pick up Gabriel Davis. We've seen what he's done in the past, all these touchdowns he's getting. You got to be hype if you're a Gabe Davis fan. He has been a stud. Literally could be a league winner off of what he's been doing. So definitely go pick him up. I don't know what this means, but fun, FYI. Okay. Go get Gabe Davis, top 20 upside easy this week with the touchdowns, whatnot. Thanks for tuning in, Kyle. Let's keep it going, though. Let's get back to some overlays. What else we got for you? Any trade, any dynasty questions, feel free to ask. Been doing these all day. Amon-Ra, the sun god. How high do I have him this week? Wide receiver 12. That's what I'm feeling about Amon-Ra. We've seen all the targets he has put up the last 3 games. It's ridiculous. If you would have told me this is what we were walking into at the beginning of the season, I would have been hyped. But we've seen everybody else kind of suck or get hurt. We saw Reynolds have a good game. Jamal Williams is coming back, hopefully. I'm really hoping we get Goff. But I think regardless, no matter who the quarterback is, you're starting Amon-Ra. 8 for 90 and a touchdown. 24 for 249 and 2 touchdowns in 3 games. And if we don't have any Swift, we don't have any Hawk, it just looks good. All right, let's see our other questions. Javonte or CEH? I don't like Brooks. Dude, appreciate the question. Thanks for tuning in. So it's a timeshare in Denver, which we've all known. I don't think Melvin Gordon's going away. I just think it hurts his upside. I do like CEH this week. I think the matchup is where he could put up numbers. Right now, where do I have CEH? I have him at RB 13. So I have him right there, right around the other guys. But yeah, man, I'm starting CEH. I think versus Pittsburgh, they have the 25th ranked run defense. He's right there around the RB 10, 13 range. Javonte, a little bit lower this week, just my opinion. With the matchup against Las Vegas, I'm actually higher on, with Locke at quarterback, I'm really high on Fant. I think Sutton might be good, but the run game I'm fading, and I'm also fading Judy. All right, let's see what else we got here. Why am I fading Judy? Because they're not using him, and that's the biggest thing. But Fant, dude, last time he played up against them, he went buck wild. Tight end's going to be interesting this week because there's actually some good matchups for tight ends. Obviously, you don't ever want to stream more than one because what happens is they bite you in the ass. So definitely keep that in mind when picking out a tight end. But Fant, last time he played Las Vegas, 9 for 97 and a touchdown. Las Vegas is 30th against tight ends. This is just a good matchup. Their safeties ruled out. Another good one. Some more yum-yums. Jeff Wilson. This is a guy I've put in my start list. Where do I have him? RB2 range. Why? Volume is king. 21, 110, and a touchdown. Now he gets Tennessee. This is another guy. I think he's got the juice. I think the scheme, that zone run scheme, is just perfect for running backs to excel. San Francisco, this is a good spot for both your RBs. Even against Tennessee, the number 1 run defense. If you have a better option, start him. But most of us picked him up on waivers. You got to start this guy if you don't have any better options. Who else we got here? I was going to go another tight end I'm loving. Hunter Henry. We've seen what he's done the last couple weeks. He gets Buffalo again. The weather shouldn't be an issue. But what you're going to have is Buffalo's going to be trying to stop the run nonstop. So what that's going to open up is the play action game. We kind of saw that last week against Indianapolis. So this is another one. Hunter Henry, if I've got him in a streamer, I got him top 12 upside easy. But Buffalo is good against the tight ends. But 6 for 72 last week. I'm loving it. And you saw Indianapolis suck against tight ends. So that leads me on to Mr. Zach Ertz. Another one. Great matchup. 11 targets versus Detroit last week. He gets the Colts 27th versus tight ends. This is a pretty good spot for him. They're giving up 15 points per game to the tight end position. Allowed a touchdown in 2 of the last 3. Get Zach Ertz in your lineups, ladies and gentlemen. So Fant, Ertz, and Henry, I'm loving this week. What about Russell Gage, though? This guy's got 18 points in 3 of the last 4. What are we doing? Because we've got the DK Metcalfs of the world. the Terry McLaurins, the Michael Pittmans, and these guys have just kind of fell off. And now we've got Amon-Ra. We've got, Waddle's been doing this thing, Gabe, Kirk. All these other receivers are starting to produce. So it leaves a lot of questions. Like, do you want to get burned or do you start your studs and get burned like DK's done week in and week out? I think this is another guy. He's safe. He's getting the targets. He's shown he goes up for those contested catches. Get Russell Gage in those lineups, guys. I have top 12 upside for week 16. This guy's just been on fire. Another receiver, Christian Kirk. I'm just basically saying Arizona's offense is so damn good. Versus Indianapolis, 9 for 94 and a touchdown last week. Another guy, Kirk's top 24. I got him at wide receiver 20. I think he could improve on that. I think it's funny how we were all high on Kirk. Then Hopkins got traded there. And then they drafted Rondale Moore, and it's just kind of been a shit show. I do know he is a free agent after the year. So if they don't re-sign him, I'm still favoring Rondale Moore quite a bit in Dynasty. Ooh, good question here. Love it. New life. I'm going Justin Jackson. I got this guy pretty high this week. Just with the volume, he's always been a stud. I think Jamal Williams coming back for Detroit kind of hurts Reynolds' role. He's still going to be the bruiser. But Justin Jackson, they have nobody else in Los Angeles. Kelly's not competition. I've actually got Justin Jackson as running back 18 on the week. So get Justin Jackson in your lineups. I don't have Reynolds in my top 25. So just the way to do it. Definitely starting Justin Jackson if I have him. Good question, though. New life? Pretty cool. Any other fantasy questions? Don't hesitate, guys. That's what I'm here for. Late night delight. Talking fantasy. Hitting it hard and hitting it fast. More running backs that we have questions against. Reynolds is tough, man, because he could finish like RB. Is it crazy to drop Lamar? What extra body? Like, who's on waivers, and are you starting one of these players or not? Taggy Carp. Let me know what you got here. I have Taysom as well. Semis this week. Need upside. I have Taysom at quarterback 13. So I don't have him bad. Even with the matchup, he's got a safe floor. Lamar hasn't played great, I'll be honest. Need upside in finals next. Yeah, this is a tough one. I have Lamar still as QB7. So not a huge difference, especially if that ankle injury's a problem. It depends on who you're picking up. If it's a player that's going to be a starter in your lineup, yes. If it's just a bench guy, no. I'm guessing this is single quarterback. If you've got Taysom and Lamar, you just don't want somebody to pick up Lamar. So you drop him today, and he is a top 7 quarterback, and then they end up starting him. It's just going to be a shit show. I don't know if I do that move. Jaylen Waddle or AB new life. You got to go AB here. But Waddle's right there. I mean, if you could get both these guys in your lineup, do it. I've got AB as a top 5 weapon this week. I have Waddle right there at 10. So, I mean, it's very close. Apples and oranges, but AB over Waddle. Just because of Brady, he's going to have to lean on this guy. He's going to feature him nonstop. You've heard him say it. They think he's healthy. Waddle's a stud too, though, man. You can't go wrong with either one of those, but AB this week. I think I've gotten all the questions so far. Anybody else in my tops that's kind of – I love Renfro this week. I've got Debo pretty high. I keep putting, like I said, Lamb and Cooper. Still liking those guys. Let's see what question we have coming in. Should I pick up Tyler Johnson or Perryman? Man, I wouldn't want to start either one of these guys. I just don't think that's going to be the answer. I think it's going to be AB. It's going to be Gronk. I think Brait, Howard are going to get fed, and they're going to run the ball. But I don't see either one of those guys as a start. If a Devonta Parker's out there, maybe a guy like that, it's just you're not going to get enough production, in my own opinion. But let me know what other receivers are out there. Are there anybody else that sticks out? I do know we got Godwin, Evans, Lockett, Landry, Allen Robinson, and Tony. not playing this week. If a Kirk's out there, I just don't think you're going to get enough production unless your flex position's just terrible. Also going to pick, yep, that's a good one. And I believe Tyreek Hill's on the COVID list. So, yeah, start Marquise. It's just not good. No matter who it is, it's going to be gross. Okay, here we go. I'm worried about Najee Harris, thinking of starting Javonte Williams or Justin Jackson. That's tough. Right now, sir, I have Najee Harris at 7. Then I have Javonte right at 14, Justin Jackson right there at 16, 17 range. So you're definitely you're warranted being worried. I definitely get that. I don't know if I could still sit Najee, but it's been a shit show lately. I think with your options, it's not the worst thing. I'm not going to blame you for starting Javonte or Justin Jackson. I really like Justin Jackson. I like Javonte, but it's a split workload. So that's the only thing kind of fading me on Javonte, in my own opinion. Good questions, though. Everybody's worried about Najee at this point. Ooh, all right, let's keep it going. I think I got a couple more questions rolling in. Ooh, couple ones. Losing some light. 1 second, guys. Light went out in the house. We turn on this bright light. Bright lights, big city. And it just comes on automatically. Weird shit. More questions. James Martin currently has Miami defense. The Seahawks are available, so are the Colts. Seahawks get Chicago, if I'm correct. We get Miami's got a good matchup. Ooh, this is tough, dude. Another good one. Let's think this through. Not be rush judgment here on your defense. New Orleans, you got the rushing floor with Taysom. I don't know if I like Miami's defense more. Seahawks, I don't expect to have a good week in fantasy. I think they're all going to suck against Chicago. So that's what's timid there. And I really, really, really hate them going up against Arizona with Indianapolis. So you're probably going Miami. You got to go Miami. I mean, at these matchups, I think Seahawks have the worst run defense in the world. So Monty is just going to run wild. You got to start. Your thoughts on Brady? I think Brady's still going to be a top 5 quarterback this week. I have him at QB 3-4 range. I think no hesitancy whatsoever to start Brady. Like I said, I think his options are still good enough to get it done. I'm not necessarily wanting to lean on a Keyshawn Vaughn or one of these other guys, but I still have Brady over Mahomes. I still have him over Lamar. I still have him over Kyler. So I'm still starting Brady as a top 5 option at the quarterback position. He's proved it, 99.9% of the time, new life. Let's see what this one is. All right. Unfortunately, this is my squad. Lamar, Foreman, Reynolds, Gaskin, Swift, Hilliard. Man, if we could get Swift this week, you'd be in heaven. Foreman, I like him. Gaskin, I don't like. My problem with Gaskin is you get Duke and everybody's excited, but I still don't think Duke Johnson, it's going to be a timeshare. God, man, you've just been struck with injuries. Tyreek, Lazard, Gabe Davis. Hey, I'll give you props, though, Cart. You're in the fucking playoffs, baby. Freiermuth, does he have a concussion, I believe? Man, you've got injury galore. Gabe Davis, though, I'm smash starting. Lazard, even, I'd start. Osborne's a great dynasty piece, but this looks like a redraft. Yeah, Lamar, Foreman, smash starts. I think I'm even starting Reynolds at right around that like low end or high end RB3. Gaskin, I hate this week. But Gaskin against Saints, too. Top 10 run defense. You got to take that into consideration. Hilliard's okay, but I think you've got to go Foreman and unless you get Swift, Foreman and Reynolds, in my opinion. But not a bad squad. I've seen worse, that's for sure. But it's crazy you're in the playoffs. What else we got? Let's see. Oh, got another one. What we got here? Fun rent. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, Robert. Appreciate the comments, though. Whatever you're saying. Let's see what else we got here. I have went through a lot of players. I hate. Oh, Kirk Cousins. I love this week. I think Kirk Cousins has top 12 quarterback upside, QB 8 on the year. This guy has been balling out. If you've got this guy on waivers, cock block somebody. We've seen, not Jalen Mills. Davis Mills and Carson Wentz both play good against the Rams. I don't think that pass defense is that good. Another good game coming up for Kirk Cousins. Cooking with Crisco with Kirk Cousins. Saints D is available too against Miami. This is tough, dude, because I think you're in that position where I don't know. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I might pick up. It is in New Orleans, I believe. Am I correct? Is the game in New Orleans? Let's see. Taysom versus Miami. Yeah, it's at New Orleans. I might play the Saints defense. Coming off that win, they get into the dome. You've got a great run defense. They're going to have to make Tua play, and he hasn't been the best. What makes him be okay? He's got an ankle injury. He did come in the last play of the game, I believe, to kneel the ball or whatever. So I don't think Mixon's injury is as bad, but P. Ryan's shown that he can pull the load. So that's a good question. I can't tell you it's an ankle, which always makes me worry. But P. Ryan is a top 24 option if he plays. Hell, he could be a high-end RB2 just off of volume alone. They use him in the pass game and the run game. But only time will tell with Mixon. You never like an ankle injury because I've had many of them and they hurt. But, yeah, Miami defense, New Orleans defense, I think I go New Orleans there. Miami's defense has been lock solid. But New Orleans defense at home, you're getting Peyton back. I think it could be a good spot. Bright lights. What's you guys are killing it on the comments. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Let's pull up some more players. Let's talk matchups. Any comments, questions, don't hesitate. That's what I'm here for. I absolutely hate Conklin. I don't think he's good at all. Make sure you're sitting him. Jerry Jeudy, another sit this week. No catches last week. Golly, sucks. I'm not sure Locke's going to target him. I have a feeling it's going to be a Sutton game, more or less. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? I don't trust him. Yeah, man, I just don't know how much Mixon's going to play with a bum ankle. It just kind of has me worried. He gets Baltimore too, so it's a tough-ass matchup. It's just, to me, Cincinnati might be a fade this week. I'm not going to lie. Even with their weapons, it doesn't look good for anybody. Even Burrow, I'm not sure he can put up QB1 numbers. Ooh, I like this one. I might actually go Josh Reynolds. He seems to be safe. Let's make sure Goff plays. If Goff does play what he's done in the last 3 games, definitely go Gabe Davis. Lazard, I can be talked into. Yeah, Julio hasn't put up any points when he's played. So I don't mind you dropping him at all. And he's got a hamstring. I think he's honestly might be done. I think your biggest question is going to be, who do you bench between Osborne and Lazard? I would lean Lazard, but Lazard's been killing it too. Let's take a look at what he's done the last couple games. He's not one of those guys that just jump off the radar, but he's probably played hella good. No, yeah, Cleveland's got a good pass defense too. Yeah, I don't think I go him. Is Justin Jackson your number 1 pickup at running back? Who else is available, sir? But yes, I like Justin Jackson a lot this week. I think he's a hell of a start. I've got Herbert right as the number 1 QB against Houston. So that only moves up Justin Jackson in that high end. He could be a high end, RB2, maybe a RB1 this week. Yeah, I love Justin Jackson. Like we were saying, you're starting Gabe. I'd start Osborne. I'd start Josh Reynolds. I need to see more of Tyler Johnson before I jump all over this. Marcus Callaway, yeah, you could go that route, but I'm not feeling it. But good questions, guys. I love it. You are killing it. Justin Jackson is going to be a stud this week. I can just read you off my running back rankings. Singletary, I got like RB22. Clyde right there at 19. Sanders, Wilson, Saquon, Justin Jackson, Aaron Jones, Patterson, Javonte, P. Ryan, all in that like RB2 range. My RB1s for this week are JT, Cook, James Robinson, Alvin Kamara, Jacobs, Monty, Najee, Chubb, Rojo, Gibson, Zeke. So really depends on how jiggy you. Like I said, Washington sucks. I think Zeke has a good game. I think a lot of people, even Pollard, 12 for 74, 3 for 13 last week. Washington's middle of the line run defense. So I could even see Pollard being in that like RB 28 through 32 range. Jeff Wilson, not the best matchup, but the volume alone is going to give him close to that RB2 upside. Reynolds, same kind of thing. Just kind of pick your poison, but Atlanta sucks on run defense as well. Singletary, I just don't trust any Buffalo running back. I think we're all kind of the same. New England's got the 19th ranked run defense. He has had 2 straight games with 14 points, but he is more of a flex than he is a start at the running back position. I don't think I need to talk about like the must starts, like James Robinson going up against the Jets after smashing the Texans. I don't need to talk about Montgomery against literally the second worst run defense in the Seahawks, giving up 170 yards a game on the ground. How bad is Seattle right now? Then you've got Russ sucking, you've got DK sucking. This is going to be a whole different team maybe next year and another year. We were talking earlier, I was talking to a buddy, Zach from Triple Play Fantasy and Dynasty Vipers, and we were talking about DK might not be a Seahawk in a couple of years. Crazy. Not a big fan of Henderson this week. We saw Sony Ball over 5 yards a carry. A.J. Dillon versus Cleveland. You saw Jones reassure dominance with snaps, touches, and fantasy points, even though Dillon did have a touchdown. Michael Carter might be my most risky fade of the week. I don't have him as an RB2. I saw Tevin Coleman come in. It could be when these guys come back from injury, they're not rushed into the game. But I don't think Carter's going to have a good week. I don't think Connor's going to have a good week. Penny, I don't see him having a good week. So just some of these running backs, you're going to have to make a tough decision with. And receivers, I always love upside of receivers, but you see Judy struggling. You see DK struggling. And you see guys like Kirk, Amon-Ra, and Russell Gage balling. So it's where we're at this week, guys. QBs I'm not so high on. Tannehill, of course, Trevor Lawrence, Fields, Carr, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, QB 16. I don't love it. Kirk's right there at that QB1 threshold. Tua, I'm on the fence about. Burrow, I'm on the fence. I like Taysom better than those guys. Russ, I'm on the fence about. I don't know what Russ is doing, but he hasn't looked good. Love Dak, love Stafford, love Kyler, love Lamar, Ertz, Mahomes, Allen, Brady, and Rodgers. So that kind of rounds out my different positions here. Devonta Parker, another low-end wide receiver too, is probably on waivers. Ayuk versus Tennessee. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo not do bad, but it's just tough to really get a hold of these, San Francisco pieces. Debo, if he can start getting more targets like he was, golly, the upside he's got. But, yeah, tons of fantasy here, guys. Some dynasty targets. Anybody play dynasty football that's watching this? It's kind of the fun thing about, if you lose in the playoffs or the season's over with, you kind of just start over with off-season. You got draft picks. It's kind of like playing a Madden franchise. Some guys not a lot of people talk about that I love in Dynasty. As much as I hate Conklin, let me see if I have him up here. I love Irv Smith. I think Irv Smith is a hell of a buy. No, it's not Irv. Where's my Got too many overlays. Madness. That's what it is. There he is. Irv Smith, only like 23 tight end. Let's just say Thielon's out of here. Conklin sucks. Like I said, he's not good and he's getting targets. If I have some offseason money or if I see him on waivers, go pick up Irv Smith, guys. I think you will be rewarded. Also, pick up a lot of those receivers that are available that are going to be free agents next year. Gallup, Juju, A-Rob, guys like that. Not necessarily, they're either hurt, not playing, but you could get cheap in Dynasty. Other players to look out for. Hunter Henry, that's another one. If he's available in Dynasty just because his injury history, go get him. So good. So good. Thought it was going to be Janu, but sometimes upside isn't taken over by consistency. Also, make sure you've got Dallas Goedert in your lineups this week. Another good matchup against the Giants. So, great player to talk about. Any more questions, guys? Feel free. I think I've hit a lot of fantasy content this show, trying to give you all as much as possible. Your thoughts on Zach Ertz this week? I love Zach Ertz this week. 11 targets last week. 4 of 11 targets, 7 or more targets in 3 of the last 4. Week 16, he gets the Colts, and the Colts are 27th worst versus tight ends. That's 15 points per game. Allowed a touchdown in 2 of the last 3. I love Zach Ertz this week. Get his ass in your lineup if he's available. Go get him. So, New Life, I think you've asked me about a couple players I love. Yeah, fucking Brandon Cooks is the man, too. How good has he been? But like I said, how crazy is it that Jimmy G, Davis Mills, and Big Ben were like top 15 quarterbacks? Yep, get Ertz in your lineup. Get Fant in your lineup. Get, who else was I talking? Hunter Henry. Dawson Knox, of course. And then make sure you don't have DK Metcalf in your lineup. I have him at wide receiver 24, and that feels gross, putting him that high. Crazy. But he's still a stud receiver. It's just not getting done with Seattle. All right. What else we got? Make sure you guys leave a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Doing me a favor. Bunch of great questions tonight. Loving it. Also have my own YouTube channel at Matty Daddy Presents, or Matty Daddy Presents on the YouTube. I do start sits every Wednesday night. I also do short form content on player profiles, and I also talk wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan. Doing a couple. Once football dies down, I do a lot of wrestling pods. More old school, but I do the new stuff too. Let's see who else we got on this. Russell Gage, baller. Kirk Cousins, baller. Ertz, ballin'. Kurt, ballin'. Jeff Wilson, good start. Amon-Ra, wide receiver 1. Tight end 1. Fant, right there on that threshold of tight end 1. Carr, back end QB 2. He's sick. That's another one. I don't know what's going on with COVID. Like, the protocol's changing all the time. I don't know, but I also know he's banged up. I'm not sure he'll play, but if he does, he's a locked and loaded RB1, no doubt. But if not, you got to love having Justin Jackson. This COVID thing's really got me screwed up. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Listen to these names on COVID. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Eckler, Kareem Hunt, Landry, A-Rob, Tony, Mayfield, Heineke, Lockett, Goff, and Brandon Cooks. What kind of shit show are we in that you're literally staring at the playoffs and you might not have any of these guys starting? It's literally desperation as we speak. But yeah, I wish I could give you an answer, man. See what else we got popping off today. I think I've hit y'all with most of my fantasy content. I hate Connor this week. Love Miles Sanders. P. Ryan's an RB2. Amari Cooper, that's a good one. Last time he played, against Washington. He went buck wild. Get Amari Cooper in your lineup. I know he's kind of hit or miss. He's like the Lockett, but 5 for 51 and a touchdown on 7 targets last time he played against Washington. Washington is ranked 30th against the pass. Amari Cooper screams yum yums. Oh, yum yum, Amari Cooper. Love the talent. Edmonds could get work today. Connor sucks. P. Ryan, I said it. Carson Wentz sucks. Dak, you're playing. Ayuk this week, not bad, dude. I think he could have a good game. Right now, I have him ranked wide receiver 24. So it's really right there in that DK range, that Devonta Parker, that OBJ range. Receivers I have over him, Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman. So he's right there with Terry against Tennessee. They should be able to pass on Tennessee. It goes Kittle, it goes Debo, it goes Ayuk. So you just got to hope the volume. And the only tricky part is Thursday nights sometimes are a shit show. Deontay, wide receiver 2? Hold it. I'm saying he's a wide receiver 1 this week. Against Kansas City, we've seen him and Renfrow kind of be cheat codes. I think Deontay and Renfrow, I've got it like 7 and 8. It's AB, it's Deontay, it's Renfrow. Dude, you're getting these guys in your lineup. Deontay's a smash start, especially against Kansas City, especially with Big Ben in his arm, especially with Freiermuth and the concussion. This is Deontay Johnson season. I think Freiermuth, that's his 2nd concussion of the year, so he might miss a little bit more time. Different things to think about, new life. Hitting it with the good questions, though. Yeah, Deontay's a wide receiver 1 this week. Hollywood Brown was the trickiest one because the matchup's good. I've got him at wide receiver 14, and I don't know if I should move him up or down. He's probably my biggest question mark. Him, Higgins at wide receiver 16. Those are the 2 ones in DK at wide receiver 24. Devonta Parker at 25. OBJ at 26. OBJ's got a good matchup, but OBJ's OBJ. Van Jefferson, it's tough, man. I'm getting all sorts of trade offers for Van Jefferson and Rondell Moore. And I don't know how to feel about those guys long term. Like, they should be studs. They're producing, especially Van lately. But I don't know the specifics of OBJ's contract. If it's just a 1-year deal, they did cut him, so it should be a 1-year deal. But if he gets to like the Super Bowl and loses, I don't know why you wouldn't stay there. If not, he's probably going to end up in Tampa with Brady. Sure, he's made tons of money and don't want to play for a stinker. How bad does Baker Mayfield suck, by the way? Terrible. Yeah, as we got about 15 more minutes of questions. Make sure you bring them in, anything you need. Also, tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Colorcast app. You guys check it out. I'm going to be talking football. I'm going to be talking the 49ers, 49ers-Titans game. Come check it out. Put the overlay up here so you can check it out real quick. Colorcast app, Niners, Titans. Give me a follow on Twitter as well, at MattyDaddyFF. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, new life. Like, I'm just, Hollywood, man. He should be so much better than he is, but he has been very disappointing. And that's what sucks. He started off so hot. Then we're like, oh, let's get some touchdowns going. And it's just been a shit show. We have seen Huntley just feed Mark Andrews, though. This guy, it's like they're taking away the outside pass, and then Andrews is just eating. It's like crippling Hollywood's value, though, and I know he's going to go off when I do bench him. But it's like DK at this point. It's like they're not matchup proof anymore. They just suck. Yeah, that's kind of what we've got. Oh, Rojo, RB1 this week. Gibson, RB1. Gibson's an interesting one for dynasty value because I've got a team where I have Kamara, I have Zeke, and I have Saquon Guys really pushing at me to try to get Kamara from me. I think Kamara's got juice for a couple more years. And this guy's offering me a couple firsts and Rondell Moore and Van Jefferson. And he wants Dillon. He wants Kamara from me. I'm not sure about it because I don't want, if this draft class is as bad as everybody says, if this is the draft class, you have a Dwayne Haskins, you have the N'Keal Harry's, you have these kind of players, Justice Hills. I don't want to be part of it. Thoughts on Hardman? He's Tyreek Hill's replacement. I mean, that's kind of what his value is. If Tyreek Hill's not playing, it's Hardman. So he's a great guy to have on your bench in case Tyreek doesn't clear concussion protocol. Then you have him right there. Yeah. So it's one of those guys you don't want to start, but if Tyreek's gone, then it's worth a start. It's real tricky, man. Tyreek's one thing. McColl's just one of those you need that home run shot. So definitely to consider, though. Pittsburgh's defense, past these, so. Exactly, and I think Kelsey's on the COVID list as well. So it's just like, geez Louise, guys. We don't know what we've got with Hardman. And I think that's kind of the way I feel too, is like, how do we start this guy? He is a Georgia product. He's an unpolished receiver from what I understand, but he's a freak athlete. And if they're using him in the return game, I mean, what about a Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon's always had the juice. He's always been a good player. I mean, we saw him score the touchdown the other week. CEH, he's going to get fed this week. Even though he sucked last week, I think you've got to put him in that RB1 territory. So it's just real tough when you get to these teams that, like, they don't use their receivers unless they target certain guys, and then you're just up shit creek without a paddle. Sony's another guy. If somebody dropped him, go pick him up. I still have Sony over, Presley too. Man, they're receivers. Such a like ragtag group. We've got it. You would think one of these guys in the offseason, like a Juju, who almost signed with them, or Michael Gallup. Could you guys imagine Michael Gallup in Kansas City? Kind of like, you've got the field stretcher. Gallup's one of those receivers that can do everything. Pringle, Byron Pringle. Yeah, no, they're nobodies, though. That's the thing. And Presley, I don't even know. I think that's what you meant, but Elvis Presley, I'm from Memphis. Byron Pringle just sucks. He's another one, man. Nothing there in Kansas City. I'd go Josh Gordon. I don't even know what Josh Gordon did last week, but probably nothing. Yeah, if we're at that point of receivers, you're hunting for Dookie. That's what it feels like. Let's take a look, though. Let's look at the top waiver pickups of the week. We've got Duke Johnson also. I think it's a timeshare. Don't feel like starting him. Tyler Johnson's one of those. I just don't see it. I think he's got good upside, but I just don't think. How about Lev Bell on Tampa Bay? He got cut by Baltimore. They were starting like practice squad guys. Devonta Freeman made it over Lev Bell. It just tells you how much he's fun. Ooh, another one I didn't mention, but a guy I kind of like this week is Amir Abdullah against Tampa Bay. He's got that pass catching. Tampa Bay's giving up passes to the running backs. So I'm not saying he's like a deep stash. If you're having to start like a Byron Pringle, maybe Amir Abdullah's the guy to go here. I like his value. He had, 15 points last week? But you look at these pass targets, and how many games is this? 6 out of 7 games, he's had 5 or 6 pass targets. So that's probably more than Pringle's going to get. It's more than Hardman's going to get. Lazard sucks too. It's crazy. But another tight end streamer. You got to feel good about Gerald Everett maybe. He's been pretty good the last couple weeks. Over 10 points. Cole Kmet's one of those, like, you're going to have a good week, a really bad week. You never know what you're going to get. Scotty Miller, I remember I did my DFS pod last year, and I was like, oh, start Justin Watson, and he put up like 0 points in DFS. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you start a guy like him or Scotty? Scotty Miller had a couple good games though. So, but I still think Brate's going to be used. OJ Howard's going to be used, but AB's just about to eat. For DFS, check out the values of some of these guys, because if you put them in your lineups early, Schultz is a sit this week. Fool's gold, my friend. Schultz is not a start. Godare is a smash start. Schultz hadn't had like a touchdown. I don't remember what it was, but it was like week 4 or something ridiculous. And then out of nowhere, he had a good week. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying Schultz is back in the saddle. Godare, though, on the other hand, great matchup. I think this is another smash spot. On the show I was on earlier, I was just preaching how Godare was a must-start this week. Yeah, dude, that's what sucks, though. Elijah Moore, I don't even know how to value the Jets. Like Crowder, Elijah Moore, all these guys. Jets are just a shit show. And yeah, Brandon Cooks, man, he's been so fucking good. Big Brandon Cooks fan. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. Had his stats. What was it? 2 straight 100-yard games, 15 catches, 2 touchdowns, 16-game pace with Davis Mills. He would have had 104 catches, 1,156 yards, and 6 touchdowns. 5 of 18 with 18-plus PPR points. That's how good he's been. So, Brandon Cooks, mad props to you. Hell of a player. Anything else, guys? Any last-minute questions before I get out of here? You guys have been a great crowd, by the way. Love the questions. Love the comments. Thank you all for tuning in. New Life, James Martin. We're missing George tonight, but you guys are pretty consistent checking out the stream, and I really appreciate y'all coming on. That's why these questions are very important, because I have, 3, 6, 9. I've got about 30 slides, and I run through those pretty quick being a one-man show. All right. No, thank you, James. Appreciate you tuning in, man. You ever needed any fantasy advice? I'm on Twitter quite a bit, at MattyDaddyFF. I don't know if you do that, or Instagram, Matty Daddy Presents. Always here to help. I do a lot of start sits throughout the week, trying to help you guys out. We all love it. It's fun. If anybody hasn't played Dynasty, please check it out. Yeah, I think that's it. Roster on the ropes every Wednesday night. Late night show, 11 to 12 my time. It's probably, if you're on the West Coast, it's more your style. I'm on Central Time, though. So this is like a late night. And then I've got the kids. Hope everybody has a good Christmas. Big day. I've got a 3, a 6-year-old, and a 3-month-old. So Christmas is going to be off the hook. Kids are hype. I'm hype as well, being a dad. What is y'all's favorite Christian or Christmas tradition before we get out of here? So y'all do family? Are you single? You just do your own thing? What's everybody do for Christmas? Any foods you guys, is it the honey baked ham? You eating a bunch of sides, kind of the same Thanksgiving feel. My family, we're doing a breakfast where everybody comes over, I'm guessing about 10, 11. Mom's going to make like a quiche, going to make a bunch of casseroles. Love me some breakfast food. We'll do that. Obviously, the kids will be up at like 6 a.m. And then, yeah, that'll be it. But if you guys want to get down on some Thursday night football, check out the Cast app. I'm going to be streaming there the whole Thursday night game, talking fantasy, talking football, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, I'm there. Thanks again, guys. As always, Fantasy Football Network, baby, all day. Oh, what do we got? Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to go to different church every Christmas. Oh, that's kind of cool, man. Yeah, we did that too. We didn't do a different church, but we used to go to I think it was like a midnight service or something. And it was all right. I like it. I've realized I'm not getting to church too much, but it's an interesting vibe for sure. Yeah, just tradition. I'm real big about tradition with my kids. I like kind of doing things I did when I was a kid, things like that. I I did get some kind of new light my wife bought me for Christmas. And I guess so basically with the green screen, it's supposed to help. I got to try it out one of these shows. Literally makes me feel like I'm getting like a suntan as I'm doing a show because the damn thing's so bright. Those UV rays, brother. Got to work on my tan. Doot. But let's get the truck out of here. James, always a pleasure. I'm going to go through these comments, give everybody props. As always, Maddie Daddy, James Martin, killed it tonight. New Life, killed it tonight. Taggy Carp, killed it tonight. Jesse Tilley, I don't know what you're saying. It's like a different language. You could be like trying to get blocked or whatever. Robert Haynes, same kind of thing. I don't know what y'all are doing. I think that was most of everybody. Let's go. Keep going all the way up. Kyle Ellis, good question about Claypool and Gabe. Brooks, Brett, great questions. Kyle, and then another Brett. So, yeah, you guys killed it today. As always, I am the Maddie Daddy. Keep on keeping on. It has been a pleasure. My treasure.